First of all, my name, maybe. My name is Giulia Stefanelli. I actually come from an academic scientific background, and my major expertise in atmospheric chemistry and secondary organic aerosol. Then I've joined the publishing industry as of 2020, and currently I'm covering the role as chair of scientific board at MDPI. So it's first of all an honor for me to be part of this program committee this year, and I had the opportunity to invite amazing speakers and also to define to some extent what would be the session focus, which is particularly interesting point for me, but I also believe like a hot topic in the industry. So I'm excited to introduce this session that will be about impact of research. Impact of research that goes beyond what has been discussed so far, like traditional publication metrics. So obviously, we all realize in this room that in terms of research, dissemination, publishing scientific content in scientific journal is fundamental aspect. But it's not the only metric and measure of impact. So what else should be considered? What is research impact? Why is it important? How can be achieved, and also how can be measured? There are several tools available nowadays and also under development, and should include different set of metrics. For example, like assessing patents or intellectual properties, or monitoring what is like citation in non-academic literature, or example, covering like assessing the media coverage and also the public engagement is a metric to measure impact. Alternative metrics, and of course also the consideration of partnership, collaboration, and awards. All these aspects re-enter in the overall assessment of impact. So today we have lined up 4 esteemed speakers, which I'm very glad to introduce, and they will shed some light into the subject of impact of research. The first speaker for today will be Professor Cherry Murray. So she is Deputy Director of Research at Biosphere 2, and she will be presenting today what various groups and organizations associated with the United Nations are actually doing to measure impacts and also to define what research impact is. And also how actually they struggle in defining it and struggle also in measuring it. Second speaker of the day will be Melinda Kenway. She is co-founder and CEO of Kudos, and she will present the approach that is used by Kudos to close the gap between research producer and consumers, and also how to understand how new measurements can be developed to understand the chain of influence toward impact. Third speaker of the day, of the session actually, will be Shannon O'Reilly. She is a team lead and product solution for Altmetric and Dimensions at Digital Science. She will walk us through a different pathway. So she will introduce her the role of alternative metrics in defining what research impact is. And when we talk about alternative metric, we will look at online mentions of research in news, blogs, social media, policy, and so on. And she will define and she will help us understand how this metric can be useful to define the social economical impact of research. Last speaker of the session will be Christopher Erdman, Associate Director for the Open Science at Michael J. Fox Foundation. He will talk about the Foundation Open Science Policy and how it is used to promote actually the wider dissemination and sharing of research results, so to accelerate discoveries and also accelerate treatment of Parkinson's disease. So with this, I will leave the stage to the first speaker, which is Professor Murray. Thank you very much.